Welcome back to Path of Divine. My name is Robin. In this video, we're gonna once again talk about mindset, and I'm gonna make a follow-up video on my previous video when I talked about static and scarce mindset versus dynamic and abundant. I'm gonna give you 5 simple methods that you can implement in your life if you are a person who you know is on this side here, but you want to make a transition and go to dynamic and abundant mindset. But before we start the video, I'm just gonna say that I want to add something to my previous video where I talked about the signs you can look for on what kind of category you are in. I actually forgot to mention that when people are on this side with a scarce mindset, they also are very close-minded people. What I mean by that is that they are very skeptical about new perspectives, new information in life. They rather just listen to what they've always listened to, they rather want to hear what they've always heard. And they don't want to change their intellect, they don't want to change their perspective, like I said. I think this one is a very big one as well, which is very connected to that one, which is obvious what I want to put here, and that is that those people are open-minded here with a dynamic and abundant mindset. We're the typical people that are open for new information. We want to take in things we never heard before, and we know that we're gonna face our emotions when we're thrown with new information that we've never heard before. This is what I'm talking about this so many times, that always when people are throwing hateful, negative comments at you, and they are acting with emotions, and they are typing bad, negative stuff about you, never take it personal. I mean, they are probably dealing with a lot of stuff at that moment. I've been there myself. I mean, like, for the last 3-4 years that I've been accumulating a lot of knowledge, been so many times where I've been very pissed. I've been like, just want to throw in the towel and give up. I don't want to hear anymore. I don't care. I don't want to do anything. When you kind of start to think about what you've heard and all these things, you settle down, you become more calmer, and you kind of like reason more with it. And you learn that, what can I do from here now? I can only adapt to the information I heard. I can't go back, I can't unheard it. I can just erase it from my brain. And I'd rather just adapt and live according to it than trying to live in delusion, like living this illusion a lot of people do, that they don't want to admit for themselves that they might be wrong, and that is the truth. Because it's hard. It takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of self-improvement, it takes a lot of shadow work. You have to really go in deep inside with yourself and face your fears. So just wanted to add those two to the other video there. Yeah, so let's get into the real video. Yes, so number 1 on the list on my 5 methods that I want you to implement in your life is that you should start to look over your surroundings when it comes to both the place that you're living in or that you're operating from and the people around you. Because I think this one is very important, that we have to understand that how important our environmental is. Something that a lot of the successful people of the world, when it comes to both the spiritual side and the materialistic side, is that they always say that in order for you to become successful, you have to control your environment. And this is a key one. This is so crucial, because when you are in, let's say you are in a workplace that you hate, you're surrounded with negative people or typical drifters. They don't want to do anything with their life, they don't want to get anywhere, they definitely don't want to change and grow. You automatically gonna implement things in your life from them. You're gonna implement the negativity, the bad habits they have, all this kind of stuff is gonna be a part of you. So that is why it's so important for you to be aware of in what kind of environment you most of the time during the days are spending. So for me, for example, like I said, I've said it before in this channel, I have a company with my family, and I'm surrounded with a lot of people who are maybe not the most optimistic people and not very open-minded people. They are typical people on this side. It can get very frustrating a lot of times. I'm not saying it because I respect the people and I care about them, but it's that I want more out of life, so that's why it's so important. I managed to get to a point where I have like a shield that it protects me, because I'm so aware of this. But if you're not, it's very important that you understand this, because a lot of people, they are not aware of this. They're just living along the life, and one day when they're 40 years old or 50, they just got the question asked, how's your surrounding? And they like start to think about it. Well, I am surrounded by a lot of negative people who don't want to do anything with their life. There you have it. There you have the answer. So always remember that surroundings is key. Always surround yourself with the people who want to see you win and who want to see you move forward in life. Number 2 is, where are you getting your information from? This one is also very important, because what we fuel our mind with is gonna manifest in our life as well. In our habits, how we approach things, how we set our mind to certain things. Everything is so important here, what we're feeding our mind with. Are you feeding your mind when you're listening to the television, to to the newspapers, you read in the old newspapers, traditional media, the national televisions and stuff like that? Are you doing that? Because if you do, I really want you to take a good old look at yourself and maybe switch to some other things. At least implement other sources as well. So go in and look for yourself. Start searching for your own. Make up your own mind about certain things and be a critical thinker all the time. Take in positive things and listen to good audiobooks. Read good books that inspire you, that you can learn from, accumulate knowledge and wisdom, and also put it into practice as well. So always do these things and be very careful what you are feeding your mind with and your brain. Very important one as well. It's number 3, how are your habits? What are you doing on a daily basis? Are you a person who likes to, after your work, lay on the couch, watch television, movies, TV shows, or all this kind of stuff? Do you not exercise as much as you know you should? Are you staying too much inside? Are you having a bad diet? You're taking bad stuff? You're having a lot of vices and addictions? So ask yourself those questions and really start to analyze yourself and go inside you and really start to think like, maybe I should change a lot of these things. They might have an impact in the way I think. Because let's face it, if we have a lot of bad, let's say, addictions and vices, that's going to have an impact on our mind as well. We're going to be a lot more stressful, we're going to be a lot more restless. Our moods can go up and down because of the dopamine levels. And we're watching too many movies. It's easier to gain weight because we don't move too much. And all this kind of stuff is very important because, like I said, like if you think about having a good physique, for example, if we are in good shape, we're not fit, we're going to have a bad impact on our mind as well. I mean, you can't expect to have a perfect, well-functioning operating mind if you are walking around with 200 pounds of body weight or 300 pounds. It doesn't work. You need to put in the exercise, you need to put in the daily steps to walk a lot, especially if you have a job or a workplace where you sit down a lot. You're working with a computer, working from home. Count your steps. See how many steps you're doing per day. If you're all too little, go out and run. Go out and take an extra walk. Always do that. 10,000 steps a day is always a good aim to at least hit. I think that's a very good standard to have. And if you can increase that, it's even better. Always look at your habits and see if something that you can change. So number 4, morning and evening routine. But this one I think is very interesting because for maybe actually at the end of this summer, I totally changed my morning routine. I'm still trying to get into a better evening routine. I'm not really there where I want, but my morning routine is spot on at the moment. I'm getting up at least 6 days a week, at least 5, depending on what my sleep is, but at least minimum 5 days a week. I always go up at 5 in the morning, and 3 of those days I go into the gym at 5 in the morning. And on the other 2 days, I go up, I take a walk or do yoga, then I meditate, and then I do reading or journaling. So one of these things I always do in the morning before I go to my workplace. And this has helped me to get so much more done. I want to get in bed earlier in the evening because I need to have my sleep. I program my mind in the morning to have a winning mindset and to operate at a high level and to get as much done as I want to. This has helped me a lot, and I think you should definitely look at your morning routine. How are you starting the day? Are you starting at 6, 7 in the morning with a cup of coffee or tea? Don't do it. Water first. Do something that calms your mind. Do something in physical activity. Go out and walk, do yoga, do something, push-ups, something like gets your heart rate going. That's a very important thing to do. And also read something. Read a good book that you can learn from. So you program your mind early in the morning to be as effective and working as good as possible. And also the most important thing of all, do not look at the cell phone. Definitely not social media the first thing in the morning that you do. Wait at least 30 to an hour before you look at it. I promise you, it will help you a lot. So many times I've been going in too early, like right away when I get up, and it's something negative that I have to respond to. And it totally messes up my mind, and it totally messes up the calmness I have in the morning. Then I go around and be stressed about it and thinking that, I need to reply to that and blah, blah, blah. Total waste of that precious time in the morning, just ruining it. So don't do it. And also the evening routine. How are you ending your evening? Do you sit with your phone, computer or laptop or screen watching TV right before you go to bed? Or maybe you start sleeping in the bedroom. Do not do that. Have a calm evening routine as well. Do something similar like in the morning. Maybe take a hot bath or something like that to calm down the muscles in the body. Or do something. So at least 1 and maybe 2 hours before you go to bed. Turn off all screens. So number 5, challenge yourself. This one also something you need to adapt in your life if you want to change your mindset to a more of a dynamic and abundant mindset. You have to challenge yourself. For me, I can take from my example I said before on this channel, one thing I really did when I was younger, about in my early 20s, because I was a very shy guy at that time, and I didn't have much confidence. I hadn't so much social skills. I didn't know how to express myself in a good way. So I just booked a ticket out from Sweden and traveled away alone. So my first trip alone I booked in the middle of the winter here during the holiday season and during the New Year's I went to America, I went to New York, Philadelphia and Washington, did a sports trip on my own, were away for almost 3 weeks. Turned out to be one of the best decisions I've ever made because I learned a lot, and I also got into this traveling alone, which taught me so many things because I forced myself to meet new people, to talk to strangers, to make new friends. I still have friends from that trip that I have contact with today through social media. It's amazing. That would never happen if I didn't go. In order for me to change my mindset from static and scarce to dynamic and abundant, I had to force myself to go out there in the dark, in the unknown. That I was very uncomfortable. I went to clubs alone. I went to sit in a restaurant and eat 3-course dinners alone because I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted people to just look at me, how strange I was. And the more you did it, you're just very comfortable with it. You don't care. Always remember that, do something that challenges you, because that will kind of break the thought patterns that you have now, so that you will start to do something new. It doesn't have to be that. Start with a new activity. I always recommend people to go to the gym. If they haven't worked out in the gym environment, that is so good if you want to develop yourself, because I think everyone who's watching this and has been training in the gym, they know when they were a beginner how intimidating it was to get into the gym. Everyone is looking at you and you think everyone is judging you, and you're walking along there, skinny, maybe don't have much muscles. You don't know what to do. You have no idea what you're doing. You see the dumbbells. Ooh, the barbells look very scary. And there's a lot of big guys there who pulling so much weight. And I'm here with my tiny little dumbbells. Or I go to the machine because I can hide there. So good environment if you want to grow, because you will really force yourself to be comfortable there. And you also get something done that is very good for you. So, I mean, it's a win-win. And so I always recommend people to go into the gym. Change career, do something, change job, do something, start a project, start a YouTube channel. This is challenging. Go out and try to social gatherings or something like that. Events is also something I'm a very big proponent of. Big events or events with personal development, something like that. That is also very good thing, because you will learn a lot also, and public speaking is included there, which is amazing if you want to challenge your fears. Those things are very good, and I highly recommend them. To summarize the video, here I brought to you 5 good and simple methods that you can implement in your life, and at least start to take a look at them. Analyze your life to this moment. Where are you now? Where do you want to go? Set up a plan and a vision and try to reach it, maybe in a 5, 10, 15-year plan. So you do something that you can change, so that you can go from this side to here. Because this is a side we all want to be. Who doesn't want to have an open mind where you feel like you're living abundant, you're happy, you're positive, and you think that there's opportunities everywhere, but you're still living with realistic mind and visions. But that's where you want to be. That's where the opportunities is. That's where the success is. Everything is there. Take a good look at yourself. Put a comment down below if you think I missed something, if you want to add. Maybe you want to tell yourself a personal anecdote or something. Do it. Hit the like button as well, and subscribe to the Path of the Divine for more videos regarding sim retention, health, spirituality, and truth. With that said, I want to wish you a great evening, and until next time, take care. Ciao.